I should be live now here in a matter of seconds. Okay, good. Now I'm on. Sorry about that. That just was not working. So, welcome to Valley of the Suns Live, the weekly edition. I am sorry for the technical difficulties. I saw the numbers drop right away. Please go ahead, tell your friends. Please like, please retweet, please heart, please do it all. That was just, then really there's just no way of getting this thing kind of going ahead of time. I have to set a couple of these things up right as we start streaming. And so I just had no way of kind of skipping that. So I do apologize. My name is Adam Mates. I'm your site editor. I've got to get those technical difficulties worked out. And we will. I promise. You've got my word. So I wanted to open up real quick. Just kind of a shout out to Connie Hawkins and his family. Obviously, Connie passed away. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Tell your friends, celebrate, like, and retweet, and share. Connie passed away this week. I believe it was 72. It might have been 75. I did not know him personally. So I don't have any kind of personal stories. I wish I did know him. I had an opportunity to meet him actually about a month ago. Al McCoy is a family friend of my family's. I have an aunt that used to work for the Suns many years ago, back in the Coliseum days, and then she moved with the franchise to America West Arena when it was called then. And so, gosh, this is such a funny angle. But you know what? We're going to deal with it today. And so I had a chance to meet him. He came out to a party that Al was at, and that it's at a restaurant that my family, we don't own or anything, but we frequent very, very regularly. And he was there with Al, and I had the opportunity. I was working, fairly late that evening, and didn't have the chance to really just kind of get dressed and rush over there. And so he did seem like a really cool dude. And so I missed out on attending, even showing up and just kind of saying hi. And I regret it, especially obviously now that he's passed away, the opportunity will never come. But, a bunch of my family knew him. And so while, again, I never met him, the aunt that worked for the Suns, she actually told a story, actually I think it was today, maybe I can pull it up very quickly. She told a story about back when she was working for the team. The Suns were a small town franchise. They really were. And so they, I'm not going to pull it up. It's okay. And so like the staff, she was just, she was ticket sales, and then she was, she wrote for, if you guys recall, the old magazine Fast Break. And so, she was, in fact, she was even, I wouldn't be able to pull it out quickly, but she did give me a copy. She was in a brochure. The Suns, before the NBA team shop, as far as I understand, each franchise had their own team shops. And, so they sent out these brochures with all these things to buy. They were, as far as I understand, were pretty much just made locally. And she was even a model for some of the female clothing, and there's pictures with her a couple times with like Jeff Hornacek, and I think one with Tom Chambers, and that kind of thing. So anyway, really cool. She is the central focus of the story. So she played basketball competitively through college, but then at the time, there was no WNBA. We're talking through the in the 80s. There's no WNBA, and then she ended up having a lot of knee problems, and so in essence, really had to retire fairly quickly. But when she got the job with the Suns, she was able to hang out with the players, I guess, on occasion. She did trips and stuff. Well, one day they were doing some event, whether it was a community event or what have you, and some of the old-timer players were shooting around, and she was down there, and somebody missed a shot, and a rebound kind of went towards the sideline. So her just kind of teasingly kind of like ran over there and picked up the ball to take a quick shot. And she said as soon as she turned to take the shot, Connie came up and slammed the ball, blocked her little shot, blocked it into the stands. Like he crushed it, and she fell to the ground. Well, he started laughing. She said this was not just kind of this chuckle laugh. She goes, he was holding his stomach. He was laughing so hard because he just destroyed this shot of hers, and she ends up falling, And she goes, it was an innocent thing on her part. It was an innocent thing on his part. I mean, they were just kind of taking shots on whatever this court was that they were on. And, so I'm 6'3". She's probably 5'9". And, he's, what was he, 6'10", if I recall. So, I mean, he was about a good foot taller than her. And he just goes up, slams that ball as hard as he possibly could, and she ends up falling. He just could not stop laughing. So I wish that I had a personal story that I could share. I've seen from a lot of you guys, commenting on Twitter and stuff. I mean, a lot of people had great relationships with Connie. Connie seemed to be a salt of the earth kind of guy, just a real nice man. Very, very dedicated and connected to the community. Obviously, not originally from Arizona. In fact, after he retired, he ended up leaving, as far as I understood, was living in Illinois. And the story goes that when he was having some financial troubles, that in the early 90s, Jerry Colangelo basically called him and said, "You need money? You've got a job. Come work for the Suns again." And ended up, working again for the franchise as a community relations kind of guy for many years. I mean, as far as I know, he was doing that up until he just got too sick to be able to be able to do a whole lot. I mean, he has been sick for several years. Again, Al McCoy is a family friend. I've spoken to Al about, had spoken to Al about Connie's health for some time in the past, and not for some time, but several times in the past, and even the last time I actually really discussed that with him was last summer. And even at that time, it just seemed like, by his impression, it seemed that Connie could go any day. So, I mean, they really kept so much of his health, the details of his health private, as it should have been. It was never really leaked to the public, and that's absolutely fine. And so, it's just another member of of Al's circle, that was just around a lot, and very good friends with Al, and a great face for the community, and a great ambassador for the game, and then a great and then obviously a legend in the franchise. So I wanted to open that. Well, real quick though, I am curious, does anybody that they can kind of type in share real briefly any stories that you might have in regards to Connie? Chandler Dudley trade, we'll talk about that, I promise. But does anybody have any stories? I've seen a bunch on Twitter. One of our writers, our great new writers, Khalil, he even wrote, he said he broke down and wept when he heard the news. That, I mean, he just felt so, he just knew that Connie Hawkins was such an integral member of the community, and so, it's just, it really sucks, but, it's life. Why do you think? Oh, what? All right, so does anybody, though, have any stories real briefly about Connie Hawkins? Does anybody have anything they want to share? I can kind of stall here for just another second, but unless I see something. So, yeah, so I mean, that's my Connie Hawkins story. Again, my aunt was he just floored her, and I thought that was hilarious. So, all right, well, I did want to just, I wanted to touch on that, and I think it's from Irrelevant. Okay. Sorry, dude. Oh, yeah, never knew him. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, he was part of the older generation, too, obviously. I mean, he wasn't an original son, but started in the second season. Yes, sir. Mayhe. Started in the, became a member in the franchise's second season, and so it was, he was gone. Gosh, okay, so 69, 71, so he was off the Suns a decade, literally 10 years before I was even born. So, I mean, I didn't even follow the Suns until 92. So if Booker, let's see, if Booker can close games and Bledsoe can cover the ball, we could win games. Yeah, well, Booker will soon be able to close games. It's weird. Why does it look like I've got Periscope up here twice? I thought one of these is Twitter. In fact, this is Twitter. I don't know. I having so many issues, it's driving me crazy. Anyway, so let's move on. Jahlil Okafor is back in the news and some connection to the Suns. Whether or not there's anything of relevance or reality to what I saw today, I did want to just share it. So Jahlil Okafor, of course, yes sir, of course, a center for the Philadelphia 76ers, former top pick, and so for the Sixers, and then all of a sudden today, there's some talk in the NBA world that the Sixers are once again trying to move him. And so the specific reference was that they were trying to move him to either the Suns or Chicago, or that the Suns or Chicago could kind of be in the lead to get him. I wonder if Philly doesn't use him to his strength. Yes, and that's the thing. So we've talked about Okafor as a potential member of the Suns ad nauseum. So this is a potential trade target, for the Suns ad nauseum. So it's not like this is a topic that we haven't discussed in the past. But yes, I mean, a lot of fans would love to get him. He's still a very talented player. He still averaged 17 points and 8 boards, if I recall, his rookie year before he got hurt. Last year, he took a statistical step back, but he also played in, he averaged some 7 minutes fewer per game last year than he had his rookie year, so his per 36 stats are pretty good. Yeah, and if you're going to pay a big-time center, you might as well get, or pay a center big-time money. You can't pay two. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. You want to spread that money, especially when you got a bunch of guards that are going to have to be paying soon. I would have done Len for Okafor, but I don't know. Len's the ball on the preseason. Yeah, well, that's the thing. And then that means Tyson. Yeah. And so that's, that's the other thing. And so far, Len has looked fantastic. He's looking like he's having a renaissance year. I mean, granted, 2 preseason games. I mean, he hasn't been playing against the top talent. But regardless, he has been looking very good. Better than normal. He's still fouling, like, ridiculously, but, at a ridiculous clip. But at the same time, Jahlil Okafor is just a better offensive player. He might be a worse defensive player, if you compare, especially per 36s. I mean, Len blocks and rebounds better than Okafor, but at the same time, you might be able to work around that, especially since Okafor doesn't foul quite as much as Len does, so you can at least keep him on the court, A, and then B, offensively, if he's scoring more points, you can kind of deal with that. You wish you would set a roster? I've kind of got that a little blocked, guys. Or, excuse me. Yeah, well, there's a lot of movement. But this is the year, very brief sidebar, this is definitely the year for experimentation, in my opinion. The Suns need to just start messing around. Honestly, they're not going to win. And we almost want them to tank, don't we? Because we do want another top pick. You know how big I am on the Suns needing to draft a dominant center. And yet I'm still also in love with I'm going to get back to that, with the European point guard. I mean, I would still love him. That guy seems like he could definitely legitimately be a legit player in the future in the NBA. So, I mean, there's definitely some really good talent out there that the Suns should strive to be able to put themselves in the position to draft. And so, so why not just dunk it? Thank you. Why not? I mean, just experiment. Marquise Chris should start a whole bunch of games at center and see if he can actually hang. I mean, he also needs to get some body mass to him. I don't want illegal. I said illegal because I see it's illegal to tank. What? I don't know. But he definitely needs to get some legit muscle weight on him. He needs to bulk up. His frame might not allow that, though. So then at the same time, everybody said Kevin Durant needed to bulk up, and he never really did. But he's also an athletic freak. So is Marquise Chris. He's not Kevin Durant at all. I'm not even. It's not only apples and oranges. It's Earth to Jupiter. Yeah, they're both NBA players, but one is way better than the other. The thing, though, is that we can discuss that in a few minutes. I promise. How many wins? I think it's low. But the thing, though, is it's just that, I mean, then they just need to figure out, okay, well, if Chris isn't going to be, there you go, if Chris is not going to be and you're welcome, a dominant power forward of any kind, then they need to just work to his strengths. So what are his strengths? You're headed to Vegas? I'm headed to, what's in Vegas? So just going back, then Okafor, I think, could still then be that center if they wanted to take that risk, that they could play at 5 and kind of just, accept the defensive deficiencies, because he would be so much of a better offensive player than Alex Len. They would not rebound very well in a lineup that had Okafor and Chris at the 4 and 5. And then if you're adding Josh Jackson or TJ Warren, I mean, Warren is a good rebounder, but he's still a small forward, so he's not going to be in the position to get those rebounds under the hoop. But again, if you can find a way to work with Okafor to just kind of pad those rebounding sets, I think they could be okay. So what would it cost? Somebody said 25 rebounds a game. I will take 9. I'd prefer 14, but I would take 9. Been on Suns win total. Your stuff, and I enjoy it. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I promise. In fact, I'll tell you what. I will talk about win projections next. You have my word. In terms of then what might it cost? Last year, the rumor was just kind of dump disgruntled, non-fit players. Thank you. With trading Knight for Okafor. Of course, Knight's not going to work at this point. He is more of a power. Well, no, I mean I think he's a center, and he should be with his size. Let me get some stats here. He should be a center just based on his size alone, and certainly in the modern NBA of non positions. Yeah, he can play the four, but I mean, hopefully, like any center could potentially play. He's 6'11", so he's a little bit smaller in terms of height, but then he's also, let's see, what would be his weight here? Hold on. His weight is 275, so he's got he's definitely not going to be a fast guy. You know, so if you're going to get him down there, if you're going to get him at least to play center, you're kind of expecting him to be a little bit more of a slogger. He's not slow, but I think, you know, you're going to just ask him to sprint the way Shaq used to. Kind of like Bennett, obviously better than Bennett. You know, so you'll be a little bit smaller, but that's okay because he can score, and I think that's really where, you know, that's where the strength lies, which is why the Suns maybe should give him a shot. I mean, if you get him this year, you have him for however much of this season that that they, you know, based on where the trade is, you'd have him for the rest of the season, plus you'd have the rest of next season. And now, what would you give up? Which is what would make this a yes or no deal, and that is. Obviously, a lot of fans are saying, okay, trade Tyson or Dudley. Honestly, if you're Philadelphia, I think you almost want to trade Tyson, or trade for Tyson, excuse me, just because you're losing a center, so you can at least keep a center. He's only in a contract for 2 more years, this year and next. So is Dudley, yes. But Dudley would probably get no playing time because they're girth of wings and guards and stuff. And I know he's not a guard, but I mean, I think you're going to run with those smaller lineups. So at least with Tyson, you've got it back up in case Embiid gets hurt, which last time I checked, he gets hurt a lot. And then he is a mentor. He could definitely be a, you know, kind of an additional coach, if you will, the way that we've been wanting him to be for Alex Len and Alan Williams. He would be that kind of guy for Joel Embiid as well. No, there's no veteran center in this league that I think is more respected than Tyson Chandler. I mean, Tyson Chandler is about as respect as a guy gets. I'm such a fan of his. I do want the Suns to hold on to him, let him retire here, and then hell, I mean, bring him on as assistant coach. I think he would fit perfectly as an assistant coach. Excuse me. Especially if Earl Watson remains on staff, which, you know, we'll see. You know, I think he would fit right in with an Earl Watson kind of staff. But regardless, I mean, I would love to have that guy around. 3-team trade. I couldn't see that. What would be the 3-team trade again? I do have a proposal, a specific proposal. But, you know, I mean, if you're running with Okafor, then I do. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. All right, so you're just saying. Well, I would be okay with 3-team trade as well, so long as we're not losing more than just a veteran, either Tyson or Duds, and 1 draft pick. Or Watson's getting fired. He won't be fired mid-season, but you know, if they win 19 games, I don't see him lasting into next season. But at the same time, since tanking is the plan, it is hard to understand why you would fire a guy when you're intentionally trying to lose. And it's an organizational, you know that phrase, organizational advocacy. Oh, is it organizational advocacy? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong phrase. But anyway, the entire organization from top to bottom knows we're trying to lose for 1 more year, trying to get 1 more superstar pick. Well, you know, hope to. And then, you know, and then the following year, then try to take a couple steps up. But even if McDonough says, I know, but they've only been tanking for 30 games. I mean, that's the other thing. They didn't tank all last season. They only started truly tanking at the All-Star break, really. So, okay, so you bring in another coach because you're saying, we're done tanking. Now go win. You know, we've got the core roster. Hold on, let me ask you this. Okay, ask me that. I'm going to try to scoot this over so I can hopefully see you guys a little bit better. There we go. Oop. Now the mic is in the way. Let me move this. There we go. Okay. Yeah, bring back Hornacek. If the Suns win a lot of games in the... I have to do this. In the first half of the season, do you want them to tank? Define A, a lot of games, Gant, and B, show me where they're going to win those games. I just don't see them winning a lot of games, and I don't, you know, and then I question what's a lot. Is it 500? Or are they above 500? Because if they're in the first half, so wait, okay, no, by first half, are you saying 41 games? Okay, so going 500. Okay, so you're saying by first half, you're saying All-Star break, going 500. Then no, you don't want them to tank at that point. Well, I mean, or if they're in a playoff chase, okay. There are 2 sides to that coin. So oh, no, it's a mic. And okay, if they're 500 and they're making a playoff run, so you're saying 7th or 8th, then yeah, no, I don't want them to tank. I want these players to A, learn how to win, B, know they can win, and C, taste the playoffs. I think it is important for these young guys. But if they are, say, 500 and they're not in the playoff chase, and I'm just saying, you know, I'm looking at it from the perspective then of, you know, even if they're 10th, you know, 8th place, because this West is so stacked now, 8th place is still 7-8 games ahead of them, then I would pull the reins back. We're talking all-star break. Yeah, I would pull the reins back a little bit and just say, you know, no, probably, you know, don't shoot for the playoffs, then do just kind of take, because if you're not going to make the playoffs, what's the point? Honestly, what's the point in winning when you're a young team and you need to add talent? So, that being said, I don't see where those wins will come from. I just don't. One of the next topics we'll talk about, but I will discuss my prediction in terms of, I know you never know, and I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying that it's unlikely. Yeah, but they're professionals, but they're so young. I mean, and that's kind of the thing, though, is this team is not a team full of professional vets. You know, they don't have a team. I just don't see it. They're overmatched talented. Thank you. I see where you're coming from, and we are all hyper fans. We're on Valley of the Suns Live right now because we're hyper fans. We want this team to win. None of us want the Suns to lose. You know, we kind of accept losing to get talent because we know that they're not going to get it in any other games. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel the same way. But at the same time, you know, it's at some point, if you know going into the season that you're going to lose a lot, you might as well just kind of, my black hair is turning gray. I hope you're not too old then, or too young, excuse me, so that you're going gray too early. But that's the thing. I want the Suns. Oh, there you go. Don't turn gray yet. Hold on. Watch something else for another year or two. You know, but that is funny. And because I mean, I will lie if I cut out a piece of this life so I could be with you guys. Likes, retweet, favorite, share, all of that stuff. Welcome to Valley of the Suns Live if this is your first time. No, I'm not balding, baby. This man is going to be here for a while. You know, but if you're going into the season, you're just kind of expecting to lose, then you might as well just kind of embrace who we are as a team, who we are as a franchise. So no, I mean, I don't want them to lose. I just don't expect them to go 500. You know. Oh wow. So yeah, you'll never go bold then. All right. So then, real quick, and we can kind of track back to this, but I do want to answer the question that was asked earlier. You know, how many wins? I really don't think. I don't think they're gonna. You know, you said 500, so 30 games midway. You know, by the All-Star break. Okay, come on, Gant, man. 20-40. That's a huge. I mean, that's like 20 #1 pick, 40 6th place. You know, or 7th or 8th. You know, spot in the playoffs. So that's just a huge. Mozambique, I love it. Yeah, you make predictions, all right. I predict the sun will rise in the east tomorrow, and the Suns will set in Phoenix because they're going to lose to the Jazz. But you know, I actually kind of think, and here I'll actually let's touch on two subjects. The first one is how have the Suns looked. Tell me, how have the Suns looked to you guys in the preseason, and then you know what are your predictions? Will the Lakers have a better record? Probably. I think the Suns look terrible. I think they look terrible, but I think it's because they look the same as they did last year. They look exactly the same as they do last year. The game is the same. The style is the same. Yes, it's a joke. They're rusty. But nothing has changed. It's still tons of turnovers. It's still tons of personal fouls. Booker got a technical foul in the preseason. What are you arguing about? They still don't get assists. They're averaging the same number of assists through 2 preseason games as they did last year, which was the 2nd worst in the league. Probably. And you know my position on that. Gotta love the fast-paced style of losing. Come on. I mean, they will be better this year. Wait till December. Maybe. Wait, what's blasphemous? Who's blasphemous? Me or somebody else? If it weren't for Troy Daniels, they would still suck at shooting threes. You know, nothing seems to have gotten any better. JJ does look good. TJ Warren, my next post will actually be, I will let you guys in a little secret. TJ Warren, I'm going to make a bold prediction that TJ Warren will be the most improved player of the year. Everybody thought he was going to be last year, and then he got hurt, and when you lose 40, 50, 60% of the season, you're not going to get many votes. But if he stays healthy this year, which he's off to a terrible start at that, I do think that he's going to be the most improved again. So I'm going to write that post. I'll give you some stats to why I think that. I have to agree. They talked about upping the pace every year, but the defense is so bad. Yeah, and who cares about upping the pace? I mean, seriously. So what if they've upped the pace? If you can't play defense, if you don't pass the ball, it's you can't. It's so silly to me. Don't up the pace. Nobody cares about upping the pace. Oh, that is blasphemous. Well, there you go. Yeah, when you play out of control, when you're not passing to open man, he's taking a shot and making it. When your shooting percentage is terrible, when you're fouling like it's easier to foul than to score. I mean, it's just like this team. They have. This is something I said very early on. They had no identity. What is their identity? Their identity is Booker scored 70. Great. That was one game. Now if he can average 25, I'm not bitter. I swear. I kind of expected this, honestly. So I'm just saying this as in what has changed. So, okay, I think it is the coaching. I am bitter. Yes, okay. And we still lost. Yes, exactly. So it's like, but that was our identity. Our identity is we have Devin Booker. That's not enough of an identity. Players know when they play us, they can get career highs. Well, that's true. What we look like with D'Antoni? Well, okay. So, wow, fantastic. 2 questions. But, okay, let's talk D'Antoni for just a second. Let's just say, with the sake of argument, Mike D'Antoni is on this team. I think the difference at that point is that well, okay. So I feel like the Suns run. You got Troy Daniels. Troy Daniels will be Quentin Richardson, which, by the way, I posted that today. Check out my post today. Sorry, sidebarred. Daniels and Booker would shoot so many threes, it would be glorious. But, okay. Booker can shoot, and Jared Dudley can still shoot when he's healthy. So you got a few shooters. I am loving Troy Daniels. But, okay, so what would Mike D'Antoni offense look like? Well, here's the thing. So, D'Antoni, coach of the year with the Suns because he had Steve Nash, was terrible with the Lakers, was terrible with New York, and then people thought would be terrible with Houston because they didn't have, I am not ready to give up on better, but because they didn't have a point guard. Boom. He says, hey, James, you're running point. And it's the second coming of 7 seconds or less. Now, I think, and I've been wanting Devin Booker to be that kind of a player. And I think the younger he starts like that, the better he will be in his prime when the Suns can really start winning. And so I have wanted Booker to be the point, the point guard, the quasi-point guard, if you will, for a year and a half now. Just put Booker at the 5. Just clone Booker. We don't need it. Okay, no. So, Vic, I'm just going to say this. I disagree. We don't need a true point guard. In fact, we need the opposite of a true point guard. We need a guard who can shoot and distribute. But we don't need a point guard. We don't necessarily need somebody. Okay, look something up important. Tell me again. We need somebody who is a good enough ball handler and distributor, a la, if we're going to go normal, I don't know. I have no clue, Kurt. A la, if we're going to go modern, I said normal. Modern, Steph Curry and James Harden. Neither of them, I mean, Curry is definitely more of a true point guard, but he definitely is, he's multifaceted, which allows both of those systems to work. You need a guy that can pass, that can dribble and distribute, and just do it well enough that he's not going to dribble the ball off his foot. That's what I think. Booker proved he can do that, but then is also an amazing shooter. Because it's the second you get a guard, and this is really what worked so well for Nash as well, is that Nash is an amazing shooter. It was just that he was an even better passer and dribbler than most guys. But it obviously works with Harden, who is not a point guard. So if you've got, well, like Grandpa would have always the same. You set up a better system. You got to find you've got to find your Lamar Odom, your Boris Dio, and we're hoping that it's dragging better. Who knows? I want to know what you pulled up, Kat. Tell me. Yes, smush. But so if Devin Booker. No, I don't want to run the Spurs offense. I want to run the Golden State Warriors offense, the Houston Rockets offense. And this is why D'Antoni here would change things. I'll bet you anything, if D'Antoni was running the Suns, he'd trade Eric Bledsoe, I bet anything he would trade Eric Bledsoe. No, maybe he wouldn't, but I have a feeling he would look at it from this perspective. And he would start Devin Booker at point guard. He'd go, just get the ball down court. That's what makes those offensive so... I didn't see Link. Suns anymore, but Suns need to... Oh, well, I'm telling you, I'll retweet the story after the show. Yes, Spurs run the 23rd. Okay, so if Earl Watson's the head coach, they need to run the Spurs offense. They just don't. So that's the difference. But if they're gonna run a fast-paced offense, they need to run it like D'Antoni. What makes those offenses so effective is that you get everybody down the court so quickly the defense doesn't have a chance to set. So then at that point, all you need is the point guard, the ball handler, just be able to pass the ball to the first open guy. And then as the defense starts to sag, because they're sprinting there super quick, as quickly as possible as well. As soon as they start to sag, so they can try to catch up with those guys that got open early. Boom! Your ball handler, a la Steve Nash, a la Steph Curry, a la James Harden, a la who I think that Booker could be, can then just take the open shot. Because the defender sagged on him, giving him the space to take that quick three. So that's why I think this is such a mistake what they're doing with the Suns right now is, yeah, we sprint down and then they set. There is no movement. There is no get the ball to the first open guy and the second has got a shot, take that open shot. It's set or hold, and Bledsoe holds. Now, Bledsoe in that kind of an offense is a very effective point guard. But nobody else is good enough to be able to do that. Nobody else moves. How frustrating is it to watch this team get down court, the ball handler holds the ball at the top key, waiting for something to happen. What happens? Nothing happens. You don't see all this movement. They have their set plays, and we've seen there's a guy, he's on Twitter, Suns Film Room or something like that. He has shown this one particular set where Bledsoe slowly brings the ball up court. He gives a thumbs up. Booker basically does this kind of set pick. He comes around. He makes this one move at the top of the key. He kind of gets open, and he gets an open shot. But that's a set play. If they're going to run fast-paced, that shouldn't even be a play. Booker shouldn't wait for the thumbs up. He should just find the spot and just expect the ball to come to him. But it doesn't happen that way. Not only do I think he can, I think they are wasting his talent by not pushing him in that direction. Marion made that happen, but you know what? They can get guys to do that. And that's why I think you trade Bledsoe, because you then find more shooters. You just find more shooters of size. They got Troy Daniels for free. They were paid to take Troy Daniels. Exactly. They were paid to take Troy Daniels, and the guy's shooting through 2 preseason games, regardless, 10 of 17 from beyond the arc. He's also a 40% three-point shooter for his career. It's a short career. He's only taken 623s. But he's taken 623s, and he's made 40.6% of them. So you trade Bledsoe for more shooters. You let Booker on that offense, quote-unquote, and you just run. And so that's... I can't believe I got on that rant. That was so unplanned, but I love that you guys are bringing this to me. Like, fleshing that out. And I love that a lot of you guys are agreeing. I didn't get any middle fingers. Oh, so do I think that Booker can? Not only do I think I can, he is wasting his talent by not. Let me pull up his rookie stats, because if you guys recall, maybe. I would, truthfully, I think you can get more than just one player. Don't count them out yet. Again, I'm as huge a Suns fan as you guys are, but I just don't see it right now. I just think the Suns need to play at a pace what complements this team, which is this team. It's a slow pace, but we're going to rush the pace. Big deal. Running up court and then stopping doesn't do anything. All right, so I've got book stats here. Look at his rookie year. You don't need Nash. You're right, Matthew. I mean, if only he could. Stop it, Gant. You're driving me crazy. Look at Houston. I mean, come on. Houston has James Harden. All right. And that, really, before Chris Paul then went. Okay, so Booker ran point his rookie year. It was a couple months. But, it wasn't very long. And yet, what is going on over here? He had more 10-assist games. No, I want Doncic, because Doncic could... No. Don't get me wrong. I still want the Suns to get a center. I want them to find their Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is worth every penny he's getting paid. He and Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, those guys they're freaks. And if you have one of those freaks at center, then you don't need a big to run 7 seconds or less. You need a big to have to have somebody in a half-court set. You need shooters to run quickly because you just need to get a shot. You get an open, get a shot. You need, and then you need your bigs for defense, but you don't need bigs to run fast. We don't need a true center. We need a Draymond Green type player. Agreed. Who is the most impossible player to find? But if you can get a Cat, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, which is why the Suns need to draft a center, in my opinion, first. That's really what will set them apart. Okay, so his rookie season, real quick. I just want to go over a couple stats. 7 assists, 11, 9, 10, 7. So I'm going to say, I'm going to look from January 26th, the end of the season. Excuse me. Booker averaged 4.2 assists and 18.6 points. This is a rookie year. He was running point for most of this because if you guys remember, Eric Bledsoe got hurt. They didn't have Tyler Ulis. Brandon Knight got hurt as well, and so Booker got to run point a lot. And he had more double-digit assists games his rookie year than our starting point guard, who is my favorite player on the team, but just does not fit the system, Eric Bledsoe. So do you even need a big? Yes, you still need a big. You need a big that can space and that can pound down low during half-court sets. So then how would Bender fit in? Does he space the floor, facilitate the offense? So Bender could be the Draymond Green type. Not equivalent, but type, if he could shoot. His defense is good, and he can dribble. I mean, he'll get better. I think that'll come. He's just so tall, it's difficult. He needs to find a way to do that. But if he can shoot, then that is really what it is that'll set him apart and make him a core piece. The small ball is what teams ain't learning towards, and they're just look at the Warriors. And that's the thing, small ball. You still need a center, but the difference between a Shaq back in the day, although Shaq back, his early seasons, he wasn't trudging, but he was still a little bit slower. The guy was super athletic. But if the Suns get Okafor, do you still draft a center? Yes, you still do. You get the best available. So if you think, if for whatever reason get Okafor, and then you've got your pick between Ayton and Doncic, and Ryan McDonough just knows that Ayton's going to be a better player, you get him, or whoever. You always just draft best available. But Suns are supposed to broadcast tonight's game on their website. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that. I've been streaming them. I will definitely look that up. I'll retweet that. I'll find that link. It's good to know. So, and that starts in about 20 minutes. So we will be getting off here in a few minutes because both the Suns start in about 20 and then the Dimex. What do you think we get for Bled? I think you can get a lot if he's healthy, but you also got to trade him to a team that could use a point guard like that. I was really hoping that Toronto would need him because I thought Toronto would be the perfect spot. But regardless, he has value because he's only 27. Chris, especially with the center, he just needs to add mass. I said that earlier, 100%. He needs to add some mass. He's just so small and he's just frail looking. So is Bender, though, at the same time. We should trade for Jamal Murray. See, but okay, good. You guys are starting to see where I'm coming from here. You're starting to see. If you're going to run a Spurs offense, then you don't need the players that I want, that I've been referencing. But then you don't be a fast-paced team. You be more of a half-court set team. You still have to have a lot of movement. What is it about the Spurs offense that is so fantastic and makes them so great at what they do? And that is in half-court sets, they are moving and passing with impunity. I mean, it's just, how many times have you seen clips on Twitter or on SportsCenter where it's just like, in 12 seconds, they passed 17 times, and they finally got a wide-open layup. The Suns don't do that. So if you're going to run that kind of offense, you just got to slow down. Suns fans don't care if you're running a fast-break offense. It's about scoring, defense, and efficiency. And, they were saying this, I remember, after the D'Antoni season when they brought in Terry Porter. People were saying, I remember locally, Gambo and Ash saying, hey, we will take a slow offense if it just wins games. Just if it wins a title. We should not care if they look pretty doing it. Yes, fast-paced, 140 points is a lot of fun, but it's just not. TJ Moore fits that model perfectly. He's just got to get an outside shot. Go D-backs. I'm so nervous. I'm so scared. Honestly, I'm like, my stomach. So if you're going to run that kind of an offense, then, you've got to be able to just commit to that offense. Jackson will be good. I still think TJ Warren now is better. I'll make that a theme of the post. I'll be sending that out tomorrow. Chris looks slow. He did, but he lost his weight. What he needs, he had burger weight. He now needs to add muscle mass. You know, he needs to be able to take a hit in the post and be able to board, you know, with total strength. He needs. No, I'm not. I was about to read that out loud. No, he does not. Manage Ginobili. Well, and then of course Tony Parker, and then of course, hey, I'm an athlete. I don't do it. You know. So, but that's the thing. That's the thing, though. Is they just need to commit to one thing or the other, and my preference with this team is still to be fast-paced, because it is the most fun. You just have to do it the right way. You have to commit to it. You have to get guys that are just going to run and get open, and you got to get a guard, a ball handler that just knows to pass, but then it's also such a great shooter that as soon as the defense sags, boop, and they're going to make those... Why did I make that noise? But, you know, swish, whatever. You know what I mean? So that's just the issue, is I feel like they want to do both. Nice effect. I know, I wish I had sound effects. They want to do both. I need to get a keyboard and... they want to do both, and they don't do either well. Nurkic really knocked him up better. Oh, well, yeah, I tweeted that out in... It was the Portland game. So, oh, no, it was the Utah. It was the first. It was the Utah game. Joe Johnson, if you guys didn't see it, Joe Johnson backed Bender under the basket. Backed him to below the basket, where all Johnson had to do was just, like, stand up and drop the ball. Bender gave up so much you know, let him move back, allowed himself to be pushed back so far, so deep. It was just embarrassing. It was totally, you know, and I even tweeted out, it looked like 2K. It was a 2K move. It was just awful, but, you know, he needs to get size 2. I refuse to call either he or Chris a bust for another year. I want this season and I want next season. But you know, what I also want to see is better coaching. Oh, ISO's Joe, those are the days. Yeah, Benner needs to learn how to pull the chair. Yes. Wow. So, boy, we've gone all over the place here. Problem is the Suns don't know how to develop. So far, it does not look like they do. It's unfortunate. So real quick, just hit on a couple things. So Troy Daniels looking fantastic. I'm looking to see him hit another 5 threes today. I mean, why not? Hit 5 more threes. Get 15 through 3 games. Excuse me. I don't know what that was. Hair. TJ Warren is out today, if you guys did not see. But he's out because he's his back. Dude, I'm so ready to watch that trailer. Oh, thank you. No, it was a hair. I was like, you know, spitting something out. But thank you. If Benner was on the Spurs, he would be a beast. Agreed. No. It's Star Wars, man. Come on. You know you're going to watch it, too. That new Justice League trailer was pretty awesome. I'm glad to finally see Clark Kent. I mean, come on. You want to put nerd? I prefer Star Trek, but I do love Star Wars. TJ Warren hurt his back as well as his head, so he'll be out tonight. I tweeted that out, and I even tweeted again. See, I told you. In my 2K game, we got the Suns to first place in the West. I'm gonna do like a video game night where I saw it again, where I'm gonna have. We'll just discuss, and we're gonna turn the Suns into a championship team in 1 year. We're gonna just do. I'm gonna get your input. We're gonna build this team. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a thing. I don't know exactly when I can do that. I'm gonna try to do that this week, but I'm not 100% positive. He always gets hurt, so he just rested him. You got 3 games left of the preseason. He looked just fine in the first 1.5, 1.25. It's way too early to call anybody a bust. He looks fine. He's going to jump right in. Let Josh Jackson start these last 3 games just to get his feet wet, to put TJ Warren back in the starting lineup. He's going to average 20 points. I think that if he stays healthy for the season, he will be most improved player, because I think he's going to average 20 and 7, 20 and 9. I really do. 20 plus. I mean, he's just, if he could average 35% from 3, which is probably asking a lot, but if he could average 35%, I'll even say 32, 33% for a season, he'd be a beast, an offensive beast, because he already knows how to get to the basket. He can score. TJ Warren is a scorer, and he can board. So if you could just add that outside shot, it just gives him even more space to work with. Did you know that Josh Childress? I did. Yeah, I saw that the other day, and it was just like, Josh Childress. I honestly thought he was retired. Random question: should the land look to the space of floor better or post up? His mechanics are nice. I think it needs to post up. But that's, another part of the offense I just hate. I hate seeing Alex Len running down court and standing in the corner. Why the hell is he standing in the corner? He's shot like 6 threes in his career. Give me a second. And he had like 4 of those in just 2 games last year. But already, he hasn't shot a 3 in the preseason I've seen. I don't believe that he has. But already, I see him in that corner again. It's just like, why are you there? I mean, why? I do not want him shooting a 3. Oh, holy cow. So he's shot 22 threes so far in his career. He had 12 last year. He's made 5. Big bloody deal. I think he does 2. And I think it'd be enough for a team to go, hey, we'll pay you $8-10 million. I think it's enough for the Suns to go, peace. I don't think they want him back. Especially if you do go after Okafor, and if you do want to draft a center, just do that. That would be incredible. I don't know. Well, I'm assuming, Matthew, Earl Watson. Oh, that qualifying offer. Yeah, well, he was looking like a steal. I don't know if he can ball, though. That's the thing. He's still fouling like crazy. I mean, he does, if he gets 2-3 early fouls for, 5-6 games in a row, he'll disappear just like that. Hashtag fire Earl. I think I ran that last year. Yeah, so I mean, again, it just kind of depends on Lens's future really depends on, are you trading for Okafor, are you drafting a center, and then of course, what is your intention with Alan Williams? Below is that Williams got hurt because this might have been his only year anyway, and that was something I talked about early on, that his contract, that contract just kind of sucked for him. It was so team friendly, but he's getting paid. God bless him. He's still just a kid. I hope he comes back. I hope he comes back and earns his way. I'll take Ayton for sure. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm saying like names. You really never know based on how the college season goes. I think Len is who he is. I don't see him turning into a non-fouling post-up threat. Well, yeah, there you go. It's definitely hard to argue with that. It's absolutely hard to argue with that. I'll tell you what. It's 6:53 local. Does everybody want to rapid fire for like 2 minutes, and then that'll give everybody a chance to get over? I agree, Kurt. It would give everybody a chance to kind of get over, find the Suns on their phone or tablet, turn on the D-backs on the big screen, pop open an ice cold, can of apple juice and watch a couple games. Plus, you still got Monday Night Football. Post something like about Okafor when you get a chance. I will. We need Shaq's kid to get. Yeah, we need Shaq's kid. Sorry for everybody who has to see my disgusting desk here. Still over 80 games. Take it easy. Wait, still over 80 games. What are you talking about? Well, okay, real quick. I got a message here. Trade Len for Okafor. Len would have to accept the trade. Somebody said the Suns were broadcasting the game. It's a home game. They do. Oh, that's right. They do. Hold on. What do they call that? Where is it? I forgot that they did that with home games. Just a random thought. Oh, resend that. Random thought question. I glanced down. It was disappearing. I'm looking on the Suns website. I forgot that they do those home preseason game streams. But also, I promise you, there's a way to stream. Just search. Oh, it only works if you live in Phoenix? Is that what it is? You know what? That's right. I think I remember that too. And I remember last year their first one just didn't work. And I'm not even seeing it on the website either. I'm on the website right now. Rajon Rondo is better than Earl Watson. I had to make a trip for me. Oh, yeah. Hey, tell me when you're in town. We'll go get some pizza. Where else is the Suns game playing? Not in Phoenix. We will definitely do that. Tell me next time you're in town. For sure, for sure. I just don't want to give any details just because I don't know what's legal, illegal. I'm just saying I know you can find them. There are websites out there. You just gotta gotta search. I only do it for preseason games. I'm just saying. Who knows? Yeah, because nobody else is watching. I just know that you can search. There are places to find it. I'm not even finding it on the website. I forgot to do that with those home games. I just don't see it anywhere. That usually they would put it on the website. So maybe it'll start in like 10 minutes or something. But just trust me, because usually like somebody is streaming somewhere. Definitely don't look up Reddit NBA streams. I don't use Reddit. I mean, I hear that Reddit is amazing. Every time I try to get into it, which has been a couple times, I don't get it. Maybe I'm just kind of old or whatever. I just don't do it. Maybe you can fix what up next time? The stream? Fix what about the stream? I saw this video of him changing defensive plays on the fly, and I'm convinced he can coach. Oh, Rajon Rondo. Suns tweeted it out earlier today. Am I growing the hair out? Not on purpose. It's kind of a more lazy. But I used to. This is on a story. I used to have the Nash cut, and I was actually thinking about yesterday when I realized, boy, my hair is awfully long. I was actually thinking about maybe I could go back to that. It would be kind of fun. Well, thank you. It's funny, and I am researching right now. I'm trying to find the game. So anybody that's going, what the hell is he talking about? No, I don't want to say. I'm gonna say anything illegal, but don't look up Reddit. Oh, but don't. Oh, I got you. That's hilarious. I see what you're saying. I am trying to find the Suns' local stream. Demetrius Johnson is GOAT. It's triple GOAT. So I was actually just kind of thinking about just yesterday when I realized how long my hair is. I was like, I might be able to grow that out again. You know what? I like it when it's real short, and I like it when it's real long. When it's in the middle, I don't like it at all. Okay, October 7th. I'm on the Suns' Twitter. Oh, no, I'm not. Here we go. One more second. But again, you can find it if you can't get the Suns. There, for full preview. No, it's game day. No, another ticket thing. No. Yeah, I'm not seeing another website. If you saw it, I just didn't see it. I'm just not seeing it on the website. You can find it though. You can. All right, let's just end this stream. I love doing this. I look forward to this every week. I do this for you. This is a great time. It's a great conversation with all of you involved. I'm sorry I'm not finding that stream, but we got 3 games to watch. We got Suns preseason, we got D-backs, and we got Monday Night Football. I don't even know who's playing, but I know that I'll be on my couch watching that, tweeting up a storm at the Suns and sick to my stomach about the D-backs. I hate the Dodgers. I hate the Dodgers. Not a problem. Again, I will do a video game thing at some point. I will look into doing it this week, and I will definitely tweet it out. So just kind of look for that. It'll be kind of fun. I'll find a way to stream. I don't know how to do that yet, but I'm sure I can figure that out. And then we'll build a Suns title contender in one season. We'll see if we can pull that off. And then as usual, unless there's breaking news, I will see you all same Valley of the Suns time, same Valley of the Suns channels, Periscope, Twitter, and YouTube. Please tell your friends. Please like. Please retweet. Bring them all in. Share when I turn this into a post. Let them all know. I love doing this, but we got some sports to watch. So, all right, gentlemen, have fun. Ladies and gentlemen, have fun. Have a good night. Go Suns. Thank you. Yes, I'll send you the Okafor piece. I promise. All right, y'all. See ya.